Zappalans, welcome back to Cop Logic. Hope you're all doing sound. It's Jake here for you today. And yes, I know it's been a while since I've been in a video, but just to make it up to you lot, I've got some transfer activity that happened over the last week or so. A couple of possible incomings, one in the midfield, one in the attacker department, and then a possible departure in the defensive role as well. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So as per usual, what we'll do is we'll address each of these rumours that have happened over the last week. I will then talk about how likely it is they are to happen, how reliable the rumours are. Then I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on each of them if they did or didn't go ahead. And then that will be the end of the video. So before we jump in, could I please be cheeky and just convince you guys to like and subscribe to our channel? It would massively help us out. It pushes us in the YouTube algorithm, which would massively help us with our exposure, and we just massively appreciate it. So please. So the first rumour we're going to talk about is the midfielder from Atalanta, Ederson. As you've seen from the thumbnail, he is a central midfielder. He can play attacking and defensive midfielder. He's 24 years old, 1.83 meters, right-footed, and has been linked to Liverpool thanks to a Brazilian journalist called Jorge Nicola, who has reported that we have placed a £38 million bid for the midfielder. So the reason why this one gets a mention in the video is because the journalist that has reported that Liverpool have placed a £38 million bid for the midfielder actually originates from Brazil. His name is Jorge Nicola. He is, as I mentioned, Brazilian, as is Ederson. So basically this could be one of two things. In my opinion, it could be that he knows someone that is tied closely to Ederson and therefore has leaked this information. But I'll be honest, my personal thinking towards the situation is that it's probably more just to get his name out there, try and get anyone interested in Ederson to act quick and secure his next move. So, you know, as fans of Liverpool, we should not be, you know, sheltered from this. A lot of people, a lot of players, a lot of agents do use Liverpool as a way to sort of suggest, like, this is the kind of level of club that the player is aiming to be at, and this is the kind of level of the player that the clubs will want. You know, Liverpool is a big club. They will want good players. If they can successfully convince the rest of Europe that, or even, you know, the world, that this player is capable of playing in a Liverpool team, then other clubs might just take a punt on him. It wasn't entirely a dead rumour though, because if I just splash this fancy graphic on screen for you now, this is a new feature we're testing, but let me know if you like it. Fabrizio Romano did actually have something to say on it. He confirmed that it's true that Liverpool have made contact with the agents of Ederson just recently to understand the situation of the player. He did then expand on this later on to confirm that basically we're doing that with a lot of our targets on shortlists. Basically what Liverpool's plan is to assess a number of their targets and contact all of their agents to assess, to see, you know, where they're at, if they want to move to Liverpool, how much they might cost, yada yada yada. And then once we've made a decision or a final decision, then we'll go in for our final winners, so to speak. But at the very least, it does confirm we are looking for midfielders still. We're not exempt from them. And as you'll see in the next rumour, it's not just the only part of the pitch. So just to wrap up, clearly is on our list, but whether or not it goes through, I'm a bit 50-50 on. I'd probably give it a 5 or 6. The only reason I give it that low is because a lot of other clubs I know were looking at him, and I can imagine Atalanta, first of all, wanting to keep hold of him, and if they can't keep hold of him, then they'll want to bid more for him. And as we know, Liverpool don't often engage in that kind of behaviour in the transfer market. So I think if, you know, if he's still at Atalanta by the end of the window and no one's picked him up because Atalanta are either adamant to keep him or wanted way more money than is reasonable for him, we might try and go back in, but I can't see a player of his level sticking around till the end of the window. So I think it's probably more unlikely, but it shows that we were definitely still interested in him at the very least. So the next rumour is one of the attacking department, and It comes from The Telegraph. Luke Edwards from The Telegraph has stated that Liverpool have an interest in Yankuba Minteh. I'm sorry if I've butchered your name there, mate, but I'm pretty sure that's probably how it's pronounced. Liverpool are thought to be one of a number of clubs who are interested or have expressed interest in the 19-year-old. There was a number flying around that it would cost 40 million for him. Basically, he spent last season on loan at Feyenoord, but he actually comes from Newcastle. I'm in a club sense, I'm pretty sure he's not Geordie. In fact, I think he's Gambian, but I suppose he still could be Geordie. But yeah. Basically, the original figure that was flying around for this player was 40 million, but I think there has been other sources to confirm that it's actually going to be lower, closer to the region of 20 million. The reason for that being that Newcastle needs to sell in order to hit FFP requirements. And if you're going to overcharge, you'd probably overcharge for players like Bruno Guimaraes or, you know, maybe Anthony Gordon, some other players that have actually proven themselves a little bit better at a higher level, rather than, you know, the 19-year-old winger that spent a season on loan at Feyenoord. So basically, if we do go for this player, it'd probably only be if we get that £20 million mark, rather than that 40 million that was originally being said. How likely do I think it is to kind of happen? I'm not all that confident, to be honest. It feels a bit of like a lazy link, because, you know, he was on loan at Feyenoord, and yeah, okay, Arne Slot liked the player and might appreciate the player, but are we only being linked to him because he was playing at Feyenoord and we now have Feyenoord's ex-manager? It just feels like a bit of a lazy link, but I think I would be okay with it as an understudy to Salah. I just don't think it's that likely to happen. It kind of feels more closer to like the kind of deal that Michael Edwards would pull off. So I suppose that's something to tick the box to be a more likely signing for us. But yeah, I just can't get past the fact that it looks like the link is only because it's Feyenoord and we've got their ex-manager and he was on loan there. So yeah, I think if it does go ahead, it's probably going to be, if it's real, to be 20 odd million rather than 40 odd million. But yeah, so that's that one. That's my thoughts on that one. Now, the last rumour we're going to talk about is actually more of a departure. It's a defender that might be leaving us. Apparently, according to Pletty Liverpool have entered talks with Mainz about a deal for Sepp van der Berg permanently. He was obviously on loan there last season, did really well for them. I think there was a option to buy for around 10 million, I believe, but don't think that was triggered. So I think there's discussions to see if it can get either probably lowered or hired maybe from Liverpool's side. But the defender seems to want to leave. He seems to be fed up of constantly going out on loan each season, which, you know, can't fault him for. Would be pretty irritating, especially when you've done so well at a side last year, and now suddenly, you know, you're still not really in contention to play in the first team, especially with Kwanzaa's leap to success in there. So he wants to leave by the looks of it, and where better place to go than somewhere you've just been and you did really well. But they want to find a price to bring him back in. We want to obviously cash in on him as much as we can. He wants to go, so looks like it's probably going to be a deal that does go ahead. What figure? No idea. Originally the loan option was about 10 to 15 million, but I believe that was something they probably couldn't afford for that player, or for that kind of budget. So yeah, it does look like he might be finally leaving Liverpool after years and years of service to the club, but he's never really done anything for us, to be honest, and it's not his fault. It's just he was sent out on loan constantly. So good luck to him if he does move. Hopefully, if there is a player in there, then there's a little cheeky buyback clause in there, but we'll have to wait and see. But it does look like Liverpool are going to be busy this transfer window. It looks like we've got sort of eyes everywhere on each department. We've got eyes on the goalkeeper department with possibly Kelleher leaving. We've got eyes on the defender department with Joel Matip leaving as a free agent and possibly Sepp van der Berg going. We've got eyes on midfielders with looking at Ederson, for example, and then we've also got eyes on a potential understudy to Salah in Minteh, especially as a right winger specifically. And who knows, maybe even if Diaz goes to Barcelona, because those rumours aren't dying down, then maybe we also go for someone who can play left wing as well, but we'll have to wait and see. One thing I do know is that you won't want to miss this transfer window, because as I just said, it's going to be a busy one, so you can guarantee that we'll cover every single strong link to the club. So make sure you don't miss out on any of our videos. And as I said before, please like if you did enjoy this video, please subscribe and click the bell notification so you don't miss the videos. And let me know what you think of each of these rumours in the comments down below. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video in a bit, lads.